Okay, so first things first, I know I'm sitting here spaghetti sauce on my titties, but I do not want to hear about it, okay? I am aware I have spaghetti sauce and I don't want to hear about it, so don't point it out. And on that note, I will start off with my first unpopular opinion, which is that Emma Chamberlain is not all that bad. I know sometimes people can say that she's basic. I think basic is just a word used to shame people for doing what they love, you know? If someone wants to have Starbucks every day, if someone wants to wear Uggs, let them wear Uggs. And some people say she tries too hard to be relatable. Well, maybe she's really like that. You don't know her. I personally am a fan of Emma Chamberlain. I think she's really plowing through the YouTube game, And I just appreciate her. Next one is about Gucci. Now, right now, Gucci is really at its prime. I mean, not that it's ever been on the decline, but I feel like right now it's just become really trendy to just everything Gucci. What with Gucci gang, using Gucci as an adjective, all that kind of stuff. But Gucci stuff is so ugly in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, they're one of the worst, major designers. I'm just not a fan is all. They're really, I feel like they don't go that outside of the box, and when they do, I'm just repulsed by it. Like those Crocs, was not a fan of. Actually, never mind. I think that was Balenciaga. But, the shirts, they're so basic, and people pay so much moolah for them, and at first I was gonna get one as, a joke, but I just couldn't get myself to do it. It was so expensive. My next one is also related to this, but it's about Balenciaga, and, the black Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks, and a legend's words, are so ugly, and I hate when people use that song to justify them. There's no way to justify wearing shoes that are that ugly. I'm sorry, I just can't get behind them. The next one is that James Charles is talented at makeup, and he can sing. I feel like he just has a good set of lungs, and some people hate on him, and say that he can't sing. I think he can, so that's my opinion, and that's why it's unpopular. And I don't find him annoying at all. I think that he's really talented, and he's pretty young, so I'm excited to see what it'll be like when he's older, because I think that he's only going to grow more as an artist, so I'm excited to see what else he can come up with. I've seen other unpopular opinion videos where people say that Beyonce is overrated or overhyped. I'm sorry, but I think she deserves all the credit that she gets. She's worked really hard, she has a powerful set of lungs, and she's really plowed through the music game. And similarly, Taylor Swift deserves all the fame that she has received. She's super talented, and she just keeps evolving and keeps improving. And literally, actually, I think it's unfortunate that a couple of her songs, like Shake It Off and Delicate, are not some of her best works, but they're super popular. But besides that, most of her songs are bops. And I feel like, sorry, there was a notification, but I feel like she is not a mean person either. I feel like she's not a snake, and I can't find that much evidence to support that she is. I just can't see it. 21 Pilots deserves all the hype that they get. I think that their lyrics are really powerful, although sometimes they can be a bit pretentious. I think they can be really powerful, especially in the earlier songs. Those had it going on, man. Those had a lot of oomph behind them. They're really sad. And I kind of wish sometimes that Tyler Joseph would get sad again. Not really, but tap into his sadness a little more again, because those lyrics were really what it was, where it was at. And now that he's a little happier, I'm happy for him, but I wish that his lyrics would have a little more oomph like they used to, I think that a lot of people will actually get offended over this, which is a little ironic considering what it will be. But I think that there are some things that just shouldn't be joked about. And tragedy, I think, should never be joked about. They're just, I've never heard a funny joke about tragedy, and it always just makes at least one person in the room uncomfortable. And people are like, oh, well, that's because they're too sensitive. Well, if if there's a pattern of people getting offended, then maybe that's a sign you shouldn't make that joke, you know? Like, I think to a certain extent, a lot of people are gonna get, at least some people get offended by every joke, but proportionally, people getting offended does not mean it's a good joke. And being edgy and stuff, being just shocking to be shocking, is not always a good tactic for jokes. In fact, it's usually a bad tactic for jokes, and I'm just not a fan of that type of humor. And similarly, I'm not a fan of humor that revolves around being depressed, being nervous. Sometimes it can be funny if it's like kind of shallow and it's about emotions that everyone can relate to, but it's like, if it's like, ha ha ha, I want to die, that's not funny. And I think to a certain extent everyone gets that feeling and can feel a certain sense of like community through it. But when you're making them all the time, you start to like internalize them, and it's just not a healthy coping mechanism for a lot of people. And it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, really. So I just do not appreciate jokes like that. If it's kind of shallow, then it's okay. But like, if it goes deeper, then did it really need to do that? You know what I mean? Next one is for all the fellow cold weather gals out there. But, so if you live in a place that has warm weather, then you won't be able to relate. But snow days are way better than 2-hour delays. And y'all can fight me on this, but I would much rather make up my days in the summertime than have days in the winter. Because winter school days have such a different vibe than summer school days. So I would much prefer going to school in the summer over the winter. Like, when people are like, I would rather have it LA because otherwise we'll need to make it up in the summer. Like, and either way, it's a school day. Do you know what I mean? I would just much rather have a snow day. And with that, I will conclude my unpopular opinions, but let me know some of yours, and I'll tell you whether or not you have taste. Remember to have a fabulous day, and I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, also, it's literally 2 days later, but I just feel so strongly about this that I needed to add it on. Post Malone makes Garbo music, and Shane Dawson is going way downhill, and he is not the best YouTuber out there.